YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Buddha, back in the building for another Last Cloudia live stream. I see you, Peter. Vengeance. Here I am, popping out of the ground to do some more Last Cloudia gambling. But not before I mention that this stream is sponsored. Not technically, but I'm using it as a vehicle to sponsor our latest partnership with Star Trek Fleet Command, a free-to-play MMO mobile game that reached out to me, said, hey, want to promote us a little bit, showcase what we're about, see if your audience likes it. I said, oh, I know my people have phone and like free-to-play games. So we'll be doing an official Star Trek live stream over on Twitch tomorrow. Completely free to play if you use the barcode above me to download the app, start an account, and we join, or you join, the Buddha Gang fleet in the game, and we get to, I think it's some part in the game. I don't know. We're just going to play it. We get enough people to do it. Help support your boy Buddha immensely, and mixes it up a little bit from the Last Cloudia grind that I know I'm a bit sick of, if I'm being honest. Fabric's new sponsor. Were you in the live stream yesterday? I think you were. I talked about it yesterday because we accepted it yesterday. But with that little plug promo out of the way, you can see we're in the gold mine slots. 2, right? Big old red 2 now. This is where all the nice stuff is, right? That we showcased last live stream. With the good weapons, the good gear, the exciting stuff to come out of this casino trading shop. We are nowhere close to where we need to be to start purchasing those items. However, we are making headway. We've got the blue selections that we can take advantage of. I'm using the 10 token slot betting. And we've made our way up to 75,000 tokens. Started at 10,000 yesterday. So we've been doing all right. That's for sure. Where's the second one? Denzel asks. Good question. I know I went over it last live stream, but it's going to find that in the Grandar map, right? After you purchase the keychain in Granzelia's secret gambling hall, I'll just show you the item real quick. It unlocks a sub-quest over in Grandar. So obviously you need to get far enough in story to even unlock this kind of stuff. But you can see here at the very bottom, slot keychain. Once you're able to buy this for 150k, that's going to unlock this sub-quest in Grandar, which unlocks the secret gambling hall over in this area of Cloudia, if you will. We've got our daily dose of caffeine in front of me because very necessary. Fabrics is at 40k tokens. A long way for you and me to go, my friend. Long way for you and me to go, but which one is it? We know that the red is one of these. 2, 3, or 5. I'm going to go with 5. I'm going to go with the number 5. I think we'll roll 5,000 tokens. If we're not really getting jackpots or one mores, then we start going out, coming back in. And of course, you guys should know we're following Tweaks' guide. So let me go ahead and pull that up so that we can always reference it for those who do have questions. You'll be able to buy the blue slot 2 mirror today after your daily token buy. Beautiful. Beautiful decision. Let's go ahead and just make this available for y'all to see it. We do Chrome, properties. Yep, that's it right there. That's it right there. If I go like this, boom! You can see. Tweaks' guide accessible in the description of this video. That's what I've been following, and it's been working pretty well. Here we are. We're in the slot machine 2 section. Buy the keychain from Granzelia Gambling Hall for 150 tokens, yada yada yada. Basic strategy, same as before, but now with much higher item prices. Maybe a bit slower to progress, but if you've gotten the hang of telling which machines has good or best jackpot odds by trial or error, then you can progress just fine. And that's exactly what we're gonna be doing today. So go ahead and minimize that so y'all can't see nothing and get to rolling. Buddha wearing a hat that doesn't exist. Buddha wearing a hat? Not sure if I understood that right there. What's up, Utah? Welcome, guys. You are all witness to what I consider an entire week of Buddha not being motivated to make Last Cloudia videos. I believe I made one video. Was it even a video or was it a live stream? I know I did the slots machine, the first one, earlier in the week. This is our second. And I think there was something in the beginning, but I can't remember. Yeah, Vengeance. The thresholds that Tweaks laid out, I mean, he's the numbers guy. He knows what statistics are going to yield you the most reliable results, I would say. So even though this is still gambling, the fact that we have the different amounts of tokens to bet, at what point certain things cost, like the mirrors, he lays out when to transition into spending how many tokens so that you have the best chance of hitting jackpots before using all of your tokens, essentially. So I know he has definitely allowed me to succeed in something that I have notoriously been terrible at, which is gambling. Yet we play a gotcha game. To Lake Laogai. I don't even know what Lake Laogai is. But yeah, I would consider myself in a Last Cloudia boycott at the moment. Just being 100% transparent with y'all. I gave up on Arena. You guys know, even when I was talking about it last live stream, I was complaining about the manual grind that I was doing. And it was just wearing on me day by day. So then I said, you know what? I'm going to try and bust out my veteran experience and make an auto-only team that's not only going to allow me to auto wins every day, but also may get me a consistent streak of defense wins against certain bots. And when I spent about, I don't know, 2 to 3 hours trying to set that up, and then life caught up to me. Lady Buddha got home. I had to just get back into IRL. I go to sleep, wake up, and I was down 1,000 trophies just from defense losses. I said, you know what? Not for me. Top 50, the bots and the macroers and the true veterans that have proper auto teams, they can take that. So Arena's out of the question. So that was a shot to the heart. And the newest time trial came out. I already got a sour taste from the whole Arena debacle that I'm experiencing. I'm not feeling jackpots from this, so we're actually gonna reset earlier than I talked about. 1, 3, or 4. Eeny, meeny, miny. You always got to go with 1, right? Time trial comes out. I do it once. I get the clear. I think I got like 6 minutes flat off of just seeing what the whole thing was about. I thought of a strategy to maybe go off of to better my time. Built the team, loaded in, and immediately didn't want to do it. So then I just quit the quest and haven't touched the time trial since. And then since then, I think we have currently 9 legit times within the top 30. And 21 of the top 30 time trial times are cheaters. And not only are they cheaters, but they're cheaters that were caught cheating in the last time trial. To me, it's such a fiasco. It's such a debacle on Adis's end. It's really hard for me to even play the game and want to support them. And at the point at which I'm at in Last Cloudia, there's nothing for me to do besides Maze of Tartarus, Arena, time trials when they come around, and build my current roster of units. I already told you I lost all motivation in Arena. Lost motivation in Time Trials. Lost motivation in Maze of Tartarus. And I'm burnt out of building units and playing the game. So, it's time I think, shift my focus. I need to take a break from the game, is what all of these things tell me. We've been going hard on this game for almost 2 years straight. I think November 21st. Is it November 21st? I believe November 21st or November 23rd is when I downloaded this game. In 2019. No, 2020. So, it's officially time I just take a break. I think I'll still do videos on news that comes out for this game. Obviously, new characters, any big celebrations, collabs. I'll cover the news for Last Cloudia and give you my thoughts. But in terms of making guides, Mike B coming in with a dodo. Let me move that a little bit because it's kind of in the way. Whoops. We'll do it right there. Any collabs or stuff that are around the corner I'll still talk about and cover, but I deleted my LC Pass subscription. I canceled that. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Final Fantasy 16 is going to arrive in 2023. Listen, I've been having a blast with Final Fantasy 14. And I think even if it means numbers tank and I don't know, you know, we're not able to make a transition into something bigger right away. I think for my sanity, I think for the health of the channel, my mental health, it's time to put LC a bit on the back burner. Yeah. I mean, tell me how I was having fun with the Star Trek Fleet Command game. You know, usually you take these sponsors and it's whatever. It might draw someone, right? I figure there's got to be a crowd of people here that have the nostalgia of Star Trek that would enjoy the experience. But I was actually having fun. I was having more fun doing the tutorial of Star Trek Fleet Command than I was for the last, I'd say, month or two playing Last Cloudia, which is pretty sad. What I know, it's important. It's important to diversify because you get burnt out. You get burnt out. There's no doubt about it. All right, I'm not feeling any super luck from this one either, so we're going to go ahead and reset. 3, 4, or 6? I'm going to go with 6. We went with 1. We're going with the opposite end. Final Fantasy 16 said they took inspiration from Game of Thrones, which I'm also pretty addicted to, or was addicted to House of Dragon. House of Dragons? House of Dragons. Excuse me. So that'd be dope. How do you unlock the gold mine? You haven't played the game for a couple weeks. I'm not exactly sure how far you need to be in story to unlock the first one. Obviously, you need to be... Okay, Leona's a good sign that we may have clicked the secret red slot machine. Ray, can you lift my spirits with just an early jackpot right here, my man? Oh, we got it! Wow! Okay, that's rare, but we'll take it. This is definitely our red machine. So now we just go ham and hope for some 7s. Can't wait to start Elden Ring. I never finished Elden Ring, which is pretty hilarious. That's been another thing I've been trying to consider if I do diversify, right? If I start really putting some other games, which I already am, right? Like Final Fantasy 14. I have recordings of all the live streams I've been doing over on Twitch, but now, like, how do I turn that into potential content that people would want to watch? I got to figure that out. The one I'm doing right now, oh, that you got to get the keychain from the first secret gambling hall. I talk about it in the beginning of this live stream. Someone else asked that question as well. When Elden Ring gets DLC, you want to see me play it, Antonio? Well, listen, I'll be doing that over on Twitch. I'm pretty adamant about keeping anything that's not Last Cloudia currently over on Twitch. So, if you're not following me over there with Nodi... Oh, we got the Pockles! Oh, but it's not even... Huh. I have never seen one more. Does that mean this is going to upgrade to 7s? Tell me that's what this means. Tell me that's what this means. I see 7s lined up. This is a first. Oh, good Lord. I have never seen that in my life. I was thinking that's really weird. It's showing the purples lined up. I was like, what? That was unexpected. That was extremely unexpected. Correct, Umi. Yeah, I know. I've been doing it over on the other slot machine. I know how the numbers work. But guess what? According to Tweaks' guide, which I am following religiously, let me just read this for you. He says, get to at least 45,000 tokens before buying the red mirror. This will point you to the best machine every single time. Now, he's talking about the other slot machine. However, he does say, once you get to at least 100,000 tokens, I do recommend moving on to the 100 token bets. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We've got 113. Let's go ahead. Buy the mountain of tokens, allowing us to purchase 100 token bets, which still leaves us at 103,000. And now we try and find the secret red, 1, 3, or 5. I'm thinking 3. I'm thinking the one in the middle. So now is when we can get excited for the big jacks. Now is when we can get the 100 and 300,000 jackpots, which is what we need to see in order to get these. That was super lucky. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. I should have known, Antonio. It's the KFT. I'm too used to seeing the KFT, so you already know. I'll see you over there, my friend. I need to finish the first Elden Ring storyline. I've never even beaten it. Oh, that's the first time Umi has seen Tyria. Wow. Yeah, man. I've been hitting Tyrias for a little while now, you know. Just a little experienced in the slot hall. Man, that was super duper lucky. We hit Ray with the bar and then just immediately pockled some 7s. That was very, very lucky. Very, very, very lucky. I got to... What was the last boss I fought? I'm trying to think of the last main boss I fought, and I don't even remember. I didn't even make it to Malaria. I did beat the nerfed... Ragnar. Is that his name? The nerfed Ragnar? Is that who it was? Alright, seeing a 1 more, and Kyle. It's not horrible chances that we are on the secret red. Kyle, come on, baby. Give me something good. Oh my gosh! This is one of the luckiest starts to slots I have ever had. Ever. That's a big win for us. That's 100,000 tokens. That's sweet. We'll take it. Radon, that's who it is. Yes, Radon. Yeah, we beat Radon, and then I did continue to get further. I did a lot more than just Radon. But I can't remember exactly where I left off. Fabrics, no kidding. No kidding, man. We're definitely on the secret red. So number 3 was the right choice. Now we just send it. Now we just send it. Hello, Leona. Like seeing you. Alright, we'll take that. We'll take that. Well, Fabrics, you got to just get lucky, man. I don't know what to tell you. You just got to follow Tweaks' guide until you get lucky. It's my only solution. I've been using all my luck here, apparently, is why I haven't been able to pull a Vayne or... Another thing that's really annoying, I can't find, like, I'm not good enough at this game to determine what even comes close to something as powerful as Lagarbos in Arena. Lagarbos in Arena is one of the most depressing things to experience. Wow, this is not even a joke. This is not even a joke. We've seen Ray hit twice back to back. This is gross. Gross. And then again, one more after that. I don't know what's happening. I honestly don't know what's happening. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's almost too much luck. It's too much luck. Like, hard to believe kind of luck. Oh, Fabrics. Come on. You should be able to answer that question. Yes. OG Lagarbos is who is so OP in Arena. Might need to try for Vayne now with this luck. Honestly, right? But there's no way. There's no way I would. I'd rather just continue the luck here so we can get enough currency to buy the weapon, you know. I mean, I'm pretty positive we're on the red machine, so I think it's pretty pointless for me to like go back and buy the red mirror, which we can now. Which we can. We can buy the red mirror when we're done with today's session. Because now I'm just sending it. For the next 2 hours, guys, I'm sending it on this. If you want to help your boy out, if you're watching me on computer, use your phone, scan the barcode, or use the link, because this is a sponsored stream. Just start a new account with Star Trek Fleet Command. Get yourself a Captain Kirk. Join the Buddha Gang fleet. Play some of the game with me. Once you unlock your second ship, you contribute to helping your boy supporting the channel completely free of charge, no financial commitments, and who knows, you may fall in love with the game. I was having a blast with it as I was getting familiar with it yesterday. So we'll be doing our official Star Trek live stream tomorrow on Twitch. So hopefully we can get the 30 slots in the Buddha Gang fleet filled. It's like the little guild system that they have in that game. If we can get 30 out of 30 people, that would be a dream come true. So if you're looking for just a random game to play in your downtime, I recommend it. El Doggo says, what? A gacha minigame within a gacha? Oh, wow. That's exactly right. They're trying to, yeah, they're going to need to actually fork over a check, Mike. We'll see, we'll see. If my suspicions are correct, I think they could care less if I stopped making Last Cloudia content. They'd be like, oh, yeah, Buddha was cool, we miss him. They wouldn't do nothing. They wouldn't do nothing. I told Tweaks, I'm gonna main Star Trek Fleet Command. I'm not, like, honestly. Best for the meteor accessory from the slots. Who is the best for the meteor accessory? I mean, I think, like, it's just a solid accessory. It's nothing, there's no one who it's best for. You just get auto haste and auto speed, which are convenient things to have, but it's not like a, oh, this would work great on this one character. I do, Peter, yes. Yes, if you look up Buddha Gang Fleet, that is the alliance that I have on Star Trek. So, trying to get the 30 out of 30 people filled up on there. I got you, bro. It's just like when you don't necessarily need an accessory slot filled on a character and they don't have auto haste, they don't have auto speed, then it's, you know, just throw it on. It's got nice stats. Just throw it on for the +2 speed. The only thing that's, you know, is just kind of a buzzkill with it is the fact that it gives you the speed buff, right? Whereas, like, the shoes, whereas mithril relief, whereas palm calculometer, those give you stated plus, or no, those say increases movement speed, which stacks on top of the speed buff. So you can use that accessory, right? You can use the speed shoes, and then you can use skills like fast speed. You can use skills like high speed shopkeep. All of those things stack, right? Give you like a total of +6 to 7 speed. With this accessory, that just gives you the speed buff, which doesn't stack with fast speed. So you can stack it with high speed shopkeep, but then you lose out on the speed you could have gotten from other pieces of equipment. Unless you do the speed shoes, the ring, and high speed shopkeep, and then just forget about fast speed and all that. But then you're sacrificing an accessory slot over 1 SC for fast speed. So when you really think about it, the ring is not that great. And then auto haste is so, you know, it's been overrated since we got honey elixir and all that good stuff. So it's really not as cool of an accessory as it sounds. It's definitely probably the last piece of equipment I would go for. I think I'm going to go for the sword. Then I'm going to go for that armor. Then I'm going to go for the weapons. And then I might think about that ring. But that's just my order of elimination. Either way, auto haste, it's negligible. Because if you're using auto haste as your means for SCT recovery speed, you're just playing, in my opinion, an inferior version of this game, right? Like, if you don't have a support casting Keen Eye, Spearmade Materia, or Glass Record, you don't have Honey Elixir Battery, you don't have a level 10 Council of 10 Arc skill because you spent your Crimson Ear on Credential Gear, you know, it just, we're not playing the same game. I can't help you very well. Umi's going on vacation. That sounds like a wonderful way to spend your time, brother. I am going on vacation, actually. I think I'm leaving the 19th. So I'll be gone. And if our speculation is correct, that would be... This is the in-between week. So next week, we're either going to get a collab announcement over the weekend, and that would be the 11th update, or we're going to be getting a collab announcement on the 25th, if our speculation is correct. And I'll be gone. So, the boy Buddha ain't doing nothing for this month. Oh, Amaterasu! Do what feels best for you. Oh, Peter, it is. It is, yes. I think you have to be in the U.S. to join the fleet, unfortunately. Unfortunately. But thank you for checking in. Is 2! Hello, my friend. The Taiwan client is currently running Nier, so maybe Nier or rerun. I don't think the Taiwan client has any indication of oh man, God. I don't think the Taiwan client has any, like, I wouldn't place my bets on that. I don't think Adis and Boltrend are tied at all. X-Man, I saw you texted me, bro, on Discord. I think I did respond to you. You asked me what the best mission to get points for the latest Halloween event is, and I honestly have no idea. Because, as I was explaining earlier in the stream, I'm kind of on a Last Cloudia boycott right now. There's just so many things turning me off from the game, including myself just being burnt out. That, yeah, I'm not playing it or really paying attention that much. Yeah, you're not wrong, Antonio. You're not wrong. Listen, after that luck we had in the beginning, I'm chilling. I'm not stressing. They did release the Nier 5 Royal Edition, so who knows, but the N5 collab feels too new to get released. Yeah. Well, Nier was last year in September, so it's been a full year. I'm not saying Nier's off the table. I think a Nier rerun is very possible, especially since we're coming off of a new collab that we just had. No, we're not. No, we're not. Last collab we had was DMC rerun. I don't think they're going to do 2 reruns back to back. I think this next collab that they're going to do is new, but Nier rerun is not off the table. It's been a full year since we saw it. I just don't think using the Taiwan version as as a speculation source, I wouldn't personally do it. Story shop at 225. Huh? Hi, by the way. Hello, Buddha. Does the story stop at 225? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I don't have those numbers off the top of my head. This hat, this little button or clip, yeah, that's going to leave a mark on my head. This feels tight. It's just like adjust this a little bit because, yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, again, like, I think a new collab is more possible. I think a new collab is more likely than a rerun since we're coming off a rerun. But you never know. You never know. I honestly can't remember. I don't remember the patterns. I haven't kept up with my LC annual schedule. I haven't done nothing. I have done nothing productive in LC for quite a while now. It's pretty sad. How you doing, fellow kids? What do you mean? Oh, with the hat? With the backwards hat? Listen, I need to get a haircut. My barber doesn't have any openings for a bit, so today's a hat day, for sure. Need that Secret of Mana rerun so you can get Honey Elixir! Well, or you can pray that the new collab drops something that's similar. Why are your gold mine background red while mine is blue? Because you're playing a different gold mine, broski. You're playing the poor man's gold mine. I hate to break it to you. There's 2 different secret gambling halls, right? First one's in Granzelia. Once you get enough tokens to buy the secret keychain, you unlock a subquest in Grandar that allows you to do the cool slots with the actual good pieces of equipment. Antonio hasn't cut hair since February. That sounds like a nightmare for me. Sounds like a nightmare if I were to do that. A Buddha mullet would be legendary, but the Lady Buddha would leave me, so I'm not. Lady Buddha's worth it. Lady Buddha to me is more worth internet fame. I'm sorry. She just is. I don't think y'all understand. Call me Captain S. Yeah, I don't know if that would be possible to me. Don't think that one would be possible there, unfortunately. We've had 3 mana reruns, so I don't think there's any reason that there wouldn't be a 4th. It's all about Adis, who they're talking to, what companies have certain licensing agreements. So if it's more realistic for them to rerun mana again than it is for them to get a different collab, then I'm sure they would do it. I don't think there's any reason not to think. Yeah, there's no doubt, Umaru. There's no doubt. You've been going non-stop. A break is a go or just cut down on the LC grind. And that's exactly what I'm doing. Like I said, I'm not going to just abandon LC. That's what our whole foundation is built off of. But yeah, in terms of like making guides, making a video every day, doing try-hard activities like time trials, the arena grind, that's all coming to a hard stop, basically. I'm pretty much going to be logging in. I'll do my dailies. I'll casually do any new events that are out. But the Power Creep podcast, of course, will still be a thing. So that will be all of your pro info from Tweaks, but I think your boy Buddha needs a break, for sure. Yeah, we've been eating vanilla ice cream for the last 2 years. It's time. It's time we try and expand our horizons, not only for my own health's sake, but just also for the channel. Like, yeah, LC grows and so does the channel, but it grows at a very stagnant rate, right? It's just, there's nothing explosive. There's nothing. I can't promise Lady Buddha hopes and dreams off of Last Cloudia. There's just no shot. LC content would basically be news coverage and podcasts. That's exactly right. Just the typical. So every 2 weeks would be a little splurge of videos from me when we get the teaser, the info the following day, the news announcements, and then probably a live stream update day, especially if there's a new story. We'll do the story clearing live streams. If I have the crystals and the means to pull, we'll do some summon sessions, summon videos, or live streams. Collab stuff, obviously, is always pretty good for numbers. But yeah, that's going to be the extent. That's going to be the extent of the content here on this channel. And then if I do want to change, if I do find a new form of content that I want to make, I'm thinking a new channel. I'm thinking a new channel is the way to go, honestly. FMA rerun. I don't, Cav. I don't know. 2 years ago, I quit my day job to pursue this. So maybe it's time to, jump on a day job again. It's been a long time. Yeah, obviously unit builds if I was, if I'm lucky to pull the unit, I'll do a unit build showcase video. But it has been tough, Cav. It has. And I mean, the growth is there, obviously. Like, we're finally getting to a point where I'm getting some sponsors, so that's some form of income. But as it has been for a while, Lady Buddha has been the breadwinner. And that just wears on you over time as well. So the amount of work I've put into making LC content just has not paid off, unfortunately. I'm proud of how far we've gotten, though. We've definitely, listen, the Buddha gang is OP. Can't take that away. Can't take away that. But you got to take life as it comes to you, you know. Yeah, Daniel, that's the better way to say it. Paid off yet. The dream is alive. We're still going strong. I think we all know we've got something special here. Is to going nuts with the support, as always. Is to quickly becoming an MVP. But yeah, just gotta roll with the punches. Just gotta roll with the punches. We are making some good progress on Final Fantasy XIV, though. We're going to hit level 45 today. I'm thinking after this live stream, I'm going to do another Final Fantasy grind over on Twitch. Because don't forget, your boy Buddha's going to be streaming basically all weekend. Lady Buddha's out of town. And that frees up time for me to continue the Final Fantasy XIV grind, get to end game. Ideally, I can get to level 60 with all this free time. So we get to level 60. I obviously step away from LC heavy. Get to some end game Final Fantasy 14 type stuff. It hasn't been anything promising, you know, the Final Fantasy 14 live streams. But I have enjoyed myself more than I have making LC videos for a long time. So kind of want to go, hey, Zod! Did you? Oh, these are just the, okay, this is two gift notifications coming through. No, sorry, that's not end game. I should have phrased that differently. Level 60 is when we get to the Gunbreaker class, which is the true cosplaying of Ardeen that we're currently doing over there. So, like, to me, that's my current end game. But I know you get to, like, level 9, job class 90 is, like, the real end game in that. Yeah. Could get super engrossed in a game like FF14, just don't have the time. Yeah, I know. And that's another dilemma, is that making content on a gacha mobile game is an entirely different animal. Entirely different structure than trying to become a content creator for MMOs. Rio! Oh. Something's in my throat. Yeah, we got lucky already, man. We started at 75,000. Started at 75,000 tokens today. So, we're sending it. Is 2 coming in with another gifted Buddha fam sub. That's another thing, is the Buddha fam subs. I need to do more promos or something with that, because the Buddha fam sub is like what has the potential to be the lifeline. But we just don't have enough. We don't have enough Buddha fam subs yet. We don't have enough Buddha fam subs quite yet. I have to is too. What, I can't just be here on a silent stream. Astrologian is when you hit level 50 and go into Heaven's Ward content. Yes, that's what someone... Yeah, okay. Someone did mention that level 50, things get a little more bearable. Because right now I'm still in that just... run and talk to this guy, then talk to this guy, then talk to this guy before you go and actually fight something. And then you fight something, and then you talk to 5 more people, and you run back and forth 3 times, and then you go fight something again. So it's been a bit of a drag. But we're getting close. So I think we're getting... Heaven's Ward, I heard, is that, like... that crossover into fun content. Gotta get Sarah ready for the Buddha fam, Antonio. Yes. Yes, my friend. I'm glad you enjoy them, Ruff. I'm glad you enjoy them. I enjoy them as well. We went from voice acting, like trying to do every line, to this accented grumbling, which I do find very fun to do. If you want to make Final Fantasy XIV content, MSQ reactions are very popular for that community. What's MSQ? Is 2, baby! Just non-stop in it. Wild boy. A lot of people don't like it, but isn't necessarily bad. Main scenario quests. Main story quest, main story quest reactions. Are they, though? I think main story quest reactions from established Final Fantasy content creators are popular. I've seen a lot of main story reactions videos that have like 135 views. I've seen a lot of those. So I also think the final, I don't know if I fit the Final Fantasy XIV mainstream mold. I don't know if it's possible for me to breach into that community, if I'm being 100% honest. Realm Reborn can be a drag, but trust me, it's so important for the whole story, and the payoff later is worth it. Well, what is that? What is Realm Reborn? Dolphin is in the house. Buddha slots undefinable. Yes, we're here once again. And we're going for broke this time. Oh, dang it. Mike B coming in with a 5, my babe. Always supporting the channel. You guys are lifting my spirits a bit. Oh, Is2 is not making me excited for that. The main game story till 50. Oh, Realm Reborn is the grind to 50. That's what we're currently in. It might be. Look at that. I looked like a really popular streamer for a second. It was doing that real fast one. You know how they do that? An initial thoughts video, Final Fantasy 14. Yes, I could try that. I could try that. I just think a lot of other people have done it with a lot bigger. Like I don't like. It can't be understated. I don't know. Maybe I just gotta do it. The DLCs are good, like really good. Okay, so that's good. I'm glad I'm enjoying the game, and I'm clearly not even at the best part yet. I'm playing what we call 2.0. 1.0 was a disaster, and they relaunched it as ARR. I see. Gotcha. Yeah, I heard that they streamlined a lot of levels 1 through 50. They gave more experience for the main story quests, so you don't have to do side quests like you used to. So that's cool. I'm glad I'm enjoying the game as much as I am before it apparently gets really, really good. So that's exactly right, Cav. That's exactly right. I need to watch the No Clip documentary. Ooh, I'm interested. I'm interested. What I really want to get, I'm thinking about actually treating Buddha Brands LLC like a company and getting an intern. I want to see if I can hit up like some college kid in film school and get them as an intern to basically do what like the Asmongold's do, what all the big live streamers do, where they just do these live streams and then some editor will take the live stream, pull 5 to 15 minute clips of interesting topics that were talked about, and those are what are posted as videos. So whether it's like I do my 6 hours of live streaming per day, but then I don't have to turn around and do another 5 to 6 hours of editing because I can have an intern who just wants the experience come through, take clips of all those live streams, and turn them into daily videos. I think that would be dope. You can do that for cheap on Fiverr on a per video basis. See, but that's yeah, maybe that's an option. Maybe that's a more realistic option. I guess I was fantasizing in my head having like an actual personal, like having my boy, right? Like a freaking homie doing it with me, forming a personal relationship with, so it's someone I can depend on and that's passionate about it with me rather than some rando who I don't know how they're feeling on that day when they're looking through. If they're really gonna, try and make entertaining stuff out of it, or if they're just gonna work for real cheap and it shows. The style changing every video might be kind of exactly. That's more where my head's at. What? Dedicated video editors want to be paid. Paid. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I need to find the workforce that just wants to build experience and is passionate. Is2 with the like. You're like on a freaking timer right now, my boy. My boy. You gave me a different accent just now. My boy. Thank you so much. Pay the same Fiverr provider though, I guess. But would they be down like that? They wouldn't be my guy. They'd still be the Fiverr guy. Yeah, I mean, what is... Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because even at the per video basis, to make a video a day, seven videos times what? 7 times 4 is 28. 28 times what? Depends on the price, I guess. New accent, my boy. That one didn't really flow so well. That's like the saru, my boy. Saru. We're getting a lot of one mores, and they're not coming to fruition because I think we got way too lucky in the beginning of this live stream. We got way too lucky in the beginning of this live stream. In YouTube, it is recommend you only upload up to 2 videos a day, correct? Yeah, well then you're talking 14 videos a week. I'm talking about 1 video a day. Once you finish a Realm Reborn story, you should watch No Clip Doc. It's 3 videos and it's like 2 hours total. Would you guys watch me react to it? Right? Can we get on some Asmongold type stuff? Is2 says yes. What says you would? Do I need to just do it on YouTube though? Do I need to just do it on YouTube? Because even like with Twitch, it's great in theory. Like, okay, YouTube is where my dedicated Last Cloudia stuff or dedicated one topic stuff is. And then Twitch is my variety, but it doesn't convert. It doesn't convert. Dark Vaporoo kind of blew a big hole in the reaction streamer thingy. What do you mean, blew a big hole? Watch party, Antonio, yeah. Maybe we could do occasional Final Fantasy streams or like videos on the channel just to test the waters. See how it goes. I don't even know who Dark Viper is. And then what does blew a hole mean? Dark Viper AU. Here, I'll let you guys look. We'll do it now. We'll do the whole like looking up other things. Dark Viper AU, 1.13 million subscribers. Give me some tips, bro. Give me some tips. Oh, he plays GTA. Wow. 3 years ago, though. 3 hours ago. There was some big drama with reaction streamers earlier in the year. It got a lot of the big streamers mad. Yeah, but I mean, then you have Asmongold, who's just... I don't understand. Honestly, he's hilarious. But, like... He gets... crazy views. For stuff, like, sometimes, like, his stuff pops up on my feed. And I'm like... Yeah, it's funny. But I'm just like, wow. That's a lot of views for a video title that I wouldn't necessarily think would do well. But again, I guess it shows how much I know about anything. But, yeah. Dude is killing it. Undefinable. Listen, I've got a Dropbox. I've got a Dropbox. If you're interested, I'll always accept some support from the Buddha gang. Alright. Let's keep rolling. Far from the best, but you know your way around Vegas. And Tony says, question, if you live stream Final Fantasy XIV on YouTube but don't upload the VOD, would it still affect your analytics, Antonio asks. I don't know. I don't know, and I have debated it. I have debated it. I think a goal we can set to try that out, and I think what would be a little poetic for me, because I like my poetry. Come on, Ray. Hit it. Yes. Oh, I thought he got it. I called that way too prematurely. I think once we hit Gunbreaker class and we can officially make Ardeen look like Ardeen, we switch over to maybe trying a YouTube live stream of Final Fantasy. Mirai, hello. Welcome. Trying to get a feel for how to improve the time trials. Oh, I couldn't tell you. I'm not touching time trials. No, I got nothing for you, my friend. I haven't touched time trials since I completed it the first time, and I'm not planning on it. You got a couple clutch Ray 777s yesterday. Nice, nice. What server? I'm on Brynhilder. Brynhilder is the server I'm playing on. Do you read all the story? Oh yeah, Jesse. Oh yeah. Reading the story is part of the fun. I think, see, that's what I'm saying. I feel like a lot of you guys are interested in what I'm doing in Final Fantasy, but I just can't, I can't convince you to go follow me on Twitch. So it doesn't make sense to stream it over on Twitch. You picked the perfect server name-wise? Why is that, Umi? Do you read all the stories? Haven't no, I already read that. YouTube wants you to keep a certain content, and if you want to branch, you need to make sub-channels for that content if you want to do more than that. Yes, there's many examples of yes, and there's many examples of no. I think for smaller content creators, it's more, that is more relevant. I think once you get to a certain status, people are going to watch you no matter what, right? Clearly like Asmongold, PewDiePie's, or if you establish yourself as a variety gamer, like the Lazy Peon, right? He reviews all the MMOs, so people will watch him if he's covering an MMO. So it all depends on how you're established. I think because we have now established ourselves as an LC channel for the last 2 years, that's all people are going to want to see on BoodaFish. So if I wanted to branch out, I would probably need to do a new channel to try and gain traction in a new category. That's how I currently feel about it. Rogan says you found me on YouTube, so it's easier for me to know you when you are online, when you stream on YouTube. No idea when you stream on Twitch. Right. Right. But, I mean, to do that, you just click the Twitch link, and then you hit follow, and then you turn on Twitch notices. And then you know when I'm streaming on both. So, I just feel like there's a psychological block when you're trying to get people to convert platforms. We've burned a lot of tokens, y'all. We have burned a lot of tokens without a jackpot. Granted, I'm trying to keep in mind that like we hit some monster jackpots going from 75k to now 406. But now we've burned through about 50,000 with nothing. The luck is drained. See, is that a thing, though? Is that an actual thing, is the question. If we change, I'm gonna go buy the red mirror. I should have bought the red mirror at 100,000. I should have bought the red mirror in the very beginning. Because I think the red mirror is 350k. Let's go to 400,000 and then make a decision. Ugh, I'm sick of these pockles. Buddha cooking channel? Yeah, I don't know. We did get another food related sponsor offer. It's called Factor 75 by HelloFresh. So it's still HelloFresh. However, I think Factor 75, if I'm not mistaken, is they prep the meals for you ahead of time. I think. I don't know. I gotta look into it. But right now, we're not sponsored by them. We're sponsored by Star Trek Fleet Command. Use the barcode above me to download the app, which contributes to helping your boy directly. And join the Buddha Gang Fleet Army if you're in the US. Once you unlock the second ship in the game, it counts towards my little counter. So we're going to be doing our dedicated live stream tomorrow, playing through the Star Trek game, which is surprisingly fun. I thought I was going to really have to force my enjoyment trying out the game yesterday, and I found myself having a really fun time. So, how do I feel about LC in the current state? Oh boy, that's a can of worms, isn't it? Vengeance, a little more than just downloading it, but that's the first step, so I do appreciate it. Yeah, maybe. Come on, baby. We need this. Tyria. Okay, it's Ray. 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 Ray! Oh, God. That would have been dope. Problem is we got 2 Ray jackpots back to back in the beginning of this stream. I needed that one for my confidence. Because if I know this is the red. I know this is the secret red slots. We've just gotten monstrously unlucky. I haven't gotten this unlucky in a long time. I haven't burned through 50k. With nothing. Would have been, but it was possible, Umi. I thought it was impossible that we got 2 Rays back to back. Alright, screw it. 350,000. Oh, God, it hurts my soul. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna follow the tweaks way. I gotta go back to the 10 slots. Gotta go back to the 10 slots. Discipline. I have to trust in discipline. That's just life in general, I think. Definitely a mindset. You got to look at the long term, not the short term. Especially if you got a secret red. That 50k loss over the long run will turn into a 300k gain. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But at the same time, I now can guarantee reds. So I don't have to guess for secret reds. In the long term, right? So it's all perspective. Did I happen to have the bugged match with the Deborn ×2 in gold? I've gotten that once, Arkantox. I have gotten that once. I was very confused. I was very confused at what was going on. But I have gotten that. I thought that the 50s, like, I thought that the gold counted as, like, a match. But it didn't. Yeah, so I've gotten a hit on 2 Deborns and a gold. It gave me the Deborn amount. That was really interesting. Doesn't surprise me. It's Last Cloudia. I didn't answer your question. The state of Last Cloudia right now. State of Last Cloudia is still better than it has been. Right? The game is better than it has ever been. But here's what I believe. I believe Adel is a small team. I believe their new director is making good decisions for the new player base experience, because you're able to upgrade accounts and characters and arcs a lot faster. But I think overall they make enough money from new unit releases along with collabs that those are the only things that they truly focus on. Along with occasionally paying attention to their story creation. So I think if you're not among the long-term player base that will spend to get new releases and new things on collabs, which I am currently not in a position to be one of those types of players, the game is going to remain very stagnant and stale. The new content that they release, which I would consider like Maze of Tartarus, is the last new type of content that they released. The next new type of content that they release will be Guild versus Guild. But again, I think when they do their new content, it's very half-assed. Because their main focus goes into unit kits, and that's what sells. And URs. And it has just been like that. It's been increasingly more like that every update. So now I'm not interested in the current state of the game, right? They clearly don't care too much about cheaters. I think that's extremely evident. I think they make their money off of the new characters. I think they make their money off of new units and collabs. That the quality of life things and the community efforts, the community integrity is not one of their main concerns. Do you know you can swipe up and down while maintaining the click touch down on the gold mine button to move the handle freely? Oh, that's funny. Good morning, Semi and Dojo. What a coincidence seeing you both here. Exactly, Antonio. There's not much to do after the main story. You start noticing that every single event is just a recycled version of an old event. So it's just, I think the current state of the L game, it favors new players and it favors spenders, which I think is pretty typical in the gacha space. I can't fault them for using a business structure that works. But for me, everything else that the game offers currently is not paying off. It's not paying off for me. You agree with me? Thanks for answering the question, Buddha. Sorry if I made the mood. You didn't make it worse. This is the mood. That question is my entire mood right now. That's why we are doing a live stream on slots. That's why we've done 2 live streams on slots. Who asked for a slot machine in this game? I could give you a list of updates that the community would have responded better to than a slots machine minigame. I can show you a slew of typos in skill descriptions, weapon traits, arc descriptions. I can show you a ton of typos that I would have personally liked them to fix versus getting a freaking slots minigame. No one that I have ever seen asked for a slots minigame. Yet this is the big update they gave us. Clearly this is where a lot of their time went to. Typos in story, translation errors. They're just not allocating their time into places of the game that I would prefer them to. And so for me, as a player, it's not my job to... I'm not here to tear down the game overall. I'm just here to express my opinion as a player that I have not enjoyed the game for a long time now. And that's multiple factors. The main one being I'm just burnt out. And I'm burnt out because of the stale nature of this game long term if you're not a spender. Yeah, Antonio, no kidding. Someone told him I love RNG. And they're clearly just making decisions off of what I love. And then while I have now branched out into other games, other games being a singular game, Final Fantasy XIV, I'm just like, oh yeah, this is what it's like to play a game with substance. And there's no pressure for me to spend. And even if I do, when I do get to that point of like, okay, now you got to subscribe if you want to keep playing. That's what? Well, how much is Final Fantasy XIV monthly? Or what's the price structure so I know what to expect? Was happy about the new story, but the last 2 years, this what we got after the Annie. I know. 15 a month. Okay, so $15 a month for the entirety of Final Fantasy XIV and future updates. Obviously, I'm not going to get all the like microtransactional stuff. But let's see. If I decided to pity one unit in this game, that gives me 20 months of the full Final Fantasy XIV experience. Just to drop perspective on price relativity. Yeah. It's just a much more reliable. And, I mean, I canceled the LC pass, so that's a third of the Final Fantasy XIV monthly price that I now have back in my bank account. Pretty sure it's like a $13 a month option, just gives you less character slots, so even cheaper. Exactly, and I mean, the only difference is that with Last Cloudy, I can play it on my phone, I can be out playing it and all that good stuff, but even as my life has been currently, like, I haven't even been in situations where I can play the game that much if I'm not home and Lady Buddha's not. Like, I'm telling you, I'm a full-time house husband. That's my main job right now. That's going to be a rude awakening for Lady Buddha. Like, and not that she's been pressuring me to get a day job. It's more just kind of like I'm back in this space where I'm like, okay, I took a risk. I dropped the job. I've been dedicated to this YouTube for 2 years, but now it's like I've gone too far on the other side of the scale, right? Before this, I had a full-time job, good salary, but I had zero time to spend with her. So now, flipped the switch. Been a house husband for 2 years, trying to work on my own thing. And while we have definitely grown, there's no doubt about that. I'm very proud of how far we've come. It's not to a point where it can help the household as much as I would like to, personally as a man. So she hasn't been pressuring me to do so. But at the same time, I think she's going to be, if once I get a job again, she's going to be like, what? Like, I was holding it down as the house husband here. But then again, we'll have more money, so we can just pay people to do all the stuff I was doing, I guess. I don't know. It would be a huge adjustment. It would be a huge adjustment. Huge adjustment to get back on the daily job grind. But she does have the patience of a saint. I mean, it's a very complex... Our relationship has been very complex. There's a lot of dynamic to it that I could explain, but I'm not going to because I don't feel like it. But yes, all in all, she has been extremely patient. Is too, don't worry, my friend. You can go and leave as you please. I know life calls. Thank you for coming through, talking with me, and dropping a bunch of BoodaFam subs, gifted subs. That was amazing. I hope you do too, is too. I'll be on Twitch. We'll be doing more Final Fantasy later today. So, if you get some free time, you know where to find me over there. We do some flex gig work on the side. Well, I do, Knights. Yeah, I do. I have side gigs that I do, but of course that's seasonal. It depends on the demand at the time with what I currently have. So it's not consistent enough to rely upon. I'll have really good months where the side gigs, you know, are great, and they do allow me to help out a ton. But then I have months that are completely dead, and so it just doesn't compare. The side gigs, it's not consistent enough. No, Umi, I have the game through the website because I'm doing the free trial. So no, I don't. It's not only Steam. I got it through the website. Please hit a bar. I know, Antonio. We went from ultra uber luck to the gutter luck. Ultra uber luck to just gutter ball luck. Dojo was saying something I didn't read. That's some BS. I hate when they do that. When there was a double bar, but then it basically tells you like, oh yeah, no, you're not getting it. You're getting fishing rods. Dojo said, honestly, when you think about what they should add versus what they did add, it's kind of wild that the game hasn't tanked. It bothers you that they blatantly ignore the community requests. Dojo, you're speaking my language right now. They continue to ask how they can improve when they haven't fixed that much of the list we gave them. So, if you look at things they have added over the last 2 years, they have addressed a lot of things. They've addressed them. They may not have changed them in a way that I think many of us would have liked, but they did improve upon them, make them better. A great example of that is a video I made. Well, you know what? Is anyone down? Would anyone be mad if I stopped doing slots and we just went into like the history of LC and reacted to videos I've made in the past? Is anyone down for that? Do it. Do it. Sure. Let's go. Okay. Because I talk a lot about this stuff when we could literally just do... We could act like a real streamer. Calvinite's been lurking this whole time. I see you. Alright. We're going to act like an actual live streamer. If I can find my freaking self. Alright. Can I go down? Oh, goodness gracious. It's my first video. Well, before I knew how to tag videos. Quitting LC. Oh boy, look how far we've come. I'm going to get rid of this QR code so it's not taking up the whole screen. Oh my gosh, do I really not have That's how bad my SEO was back then, is that it doesn't even come up unless I search the actual name. Every other video comes up before this one. Hello? Here's 5 ways to improve the game. Let's click on that one. Look at this. Look at old Buddha. Look at old Buddha. You saw me? You saw it? I didn't even see it. Oh, here it is. Love. Okay. Here we go. This will be fun. I'm going to increase the volume a bit. Hopefully it doesn't overpower. Alright, YouTube. I'm just starting this video off. Been a minute since I've recorded some footage on some gacha games.
It's young Buddha.
I wanted to start a new journey with this game. Last Cloudia, you can see on the screen, we got a nice new layout that I just finished customizing for any footage that we record on this game. So you can see all of my links to my socials on the side I just put, so please check me out over there. That would be greatly appreciated. But anyway, I wanted to start a little series.
I did even lie. I'm not tryharding it. I beat it, got the radiance, and I'm done.
Because it is the first gacha game that's kind of got me hooked on it, and
2
it
years
doesn't
ago.
require the pull of my childhood nostalgia like all these other games that I know and love from my childhood.
So at the time I was playing Dokkan and Legends. So I was like, oh, and Seven Deadly Sins. So I was playing all the old games that were backed by IPs. And then Last Cloudia was like, whoa, I like it. I like the fantasy genre style. I like the characters were cool to me. The gacha system, obviously, I think Divine Beast Ray was the unit that was out, which I was able to pull. So I pulled the banner unit, was all into the game. And so it surprised me because I had never gotten hooked on a gacha game, mobile game, that wasn't something that I knew from my past. So today's video, I want to get to it, is why you haven't heard of this game. Because playing it, I'm going to jump in. Playing it, I was intrigued. Oh, we got to download. The story's interesting. The characters are interesting. They're cool. The artwork's fantastic. I was so chill back then. Just like, yeah, so this is what's going on. These are my thoughts. And I don't really know what I'm saying, but I'm just going to keep talking. So similar to how I do now. I just think I'm a little more comfortable on the camera. It's funny how that works.
A lot of pros to this game. I might do a video about that. Some of the pros to this video, and then there's some of the pros to this game and some of the cons to this game. But all in all, it seems like a pretty solid game, at least jumping in with no prior bias as to what has happened, because oh yes, there's a new character that was just added today. I should do a little reveal of that.
OG Alice. Wow. I wanted to make that, Antonio, an evolution of my YouTube intros. The problem is I lost all of my first year's worth of footage. It was on a hard drive that got left in Mexico, and taxi cab drove off with it, never saw it again. So I don't have that footage unless I was to go back and like screen record every video that I lost footage of from that. So that's a monstrous task that I'm just, not inclined to do right now. But yeah, OG Alice was my second character after Divine Beast Ray. Oh, good times
as well. But the game has been out for a year and a half, so it's not a stranger to the market, right? I'm going to close this. I just want to
playing on blue stacks.
Show off some of this stuff.
Family vacation, rough.
While I'm...
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was doing a guest appearance in Mexico. They flew me out, paid work trip. Of course, BoodaFish on stage. Had to tell,
I had to tell la gente about Las Claudia.
Explaining, but as you can see, like, the artwork is cool. So what better way, after playing it for a couple weeks, wondering why there's not really any hype, there's not really any videos on YouTube about it, what better way to find out why the game may not be doing as well as I believe it could be than asking the main player base, aka Reddit. So I jumped over to Reddit and did a little post.
Nice cut. Hold on, I can't be covering myself now. I just didn't mean to do that. Here we go.
Thought, hey, people respond, cool. They don't, I'll just
Buddha
keep
on
doing
top
a little
of Buddha.
research. But to my surprise, the post kind of blew up a little bit.
Kind of blew up. 13. Kind of blew up. Not to brag. Got 13 upvotes. 22 comments. Kind of blew up.
We got a lot of reactions. 22 comments, 13 in the first 13 hours. Just switched right there. And there I just posted, why isn't there more buzz around the game? I'm new to it. I'm ranked 12, having a great time playing the story, diving into the mechanics of the game.
I feel like every single Last Claudia player, this is every single new Last Claudia player. I see someone saying these same words in different ways on a consistent basis in Reddit. Does anyone else feel that way?
After doing my research, I realized it's not really popping. There's not a lot of content creation for it at the moment. There was one video with like 100,000 plus views by some YouTuber named FG3000.
Basically, Cal.
And then not much else. Literally the first comment off the gate is what I want to highlight. Shout out
to this guy. I don't even know. I don't see this name on Reddit anymore. But like, what a comment right off the rip.
To Suzaku Fubuki. I don't know if I said that right, but I gave it a shot. He gave 5 pretty solid reasons as to why I think the game is not where it could be, I should say. There was a lot of consensus that there's potential for this game, but there are some really major flaws to it. So Suzaku says reason number 1, Adel doesn't really invest much in promoting the game. Yet to see an ad anywhere online. Meanwhile, other companies spend anywhere from a decent to an obscene amount of moolah to get the word out.
That is still true, I think. By the way, am I gonna be all the way over here? No, we gotta fix this real quick. Hold on. Hold the phone. Wee. So they still don't promote the game like at all. They have tried. But when I see their like Facebook ads, they don't do well. So my conclusion is that they just are not good at it. I don't know how to do it either. I think doing successful advertisement for the game is a skill, and people who know how to do it cost a lot of money, and it's all about how much you're willing to spend on marketing. So I know that they've tried to do modern day like Facebook ads, Instagram ads, which are the same thing nowadays. However, what I know that they still don't do, and I don't think they ever will do, they don't do sponsored programs for content creators, right? Like the fact, honestly, one of the biggest turnoffs for me is that like I got the Star Trek sponsorship, which, if you want to support your boy Buddha, just got to scan that code over there, download Star Trek, join the Buddha Gang fleet, and join me for tomorrow's Twitch live stream. If you play through the game enough, get to a certain point, it counts towards a new ship acquired in the Buddha Gang fleet, which directly sponsors and supports your boy, free of charge, free to play MMO based around Star Trek. Use that barcode over there. But Last Claudia does not
offer anything like that. And they have, and then like, I remember Barlene made a comment that was so annoying to me. That was like, oh, well, I've tried, but no one responded to it, so we threw it in the bin. Like, yeah, because your content creator promo gifted like 300 crystals if you made 10 videos about the game. So you're giving me 30 in-game free crystals per video, Barlene? Wow. No wonder. I can't believe I didn't do that. I can't believe no one else didn't do that. I don't know. Don't take my word for that. That's not entirely accurate. I'm just spitballing, but it was basically that was the equivalent. That was what the reward for doing it was like. So no. Not going to happen. So they've never done any like content creator sponsored programs for the game. All they've tried to do in terms of what I've seen is Facebook and Instagram targeted advertisement campaigns, which I think don't do well. They get like, maybe the most I've seen is over 100 likes, which is not bad, but for something you're paying for, I don't think you're getting a return on new players by doing that. So they have not, and then they've tried to do like, they actually have. You know what they have? They have actually. They obviously have Kimiko now, but then again, like the game's already big in Japan, so I don't know how getting a Japanese content creator to like guest star in the global audience live streams. I don't understand the reasoning there to try and get more global players. Like I don't know if many of us outside of global knew who Kimiko was before we were introduced to her and then found out she was a big content creator in Japan. I feel like I could ramble on and we're not even a third of the way through the video. They don't know how to do advertising still to this day. So new players getting into this game, to me, is just kind of a lost cause. Just saw this with the release of Genshin Impact. Genshin Impact, I've seen more advertisement for that game than I have any other. Genshin Impact was an anomaly. I don't personally know how that game blew up as crazily as it did. Obviously, we've seen the rise and fall of Genshin after 2 years, but yeah, I remember back then it was like Genshin Impact was all over everywhere I was looking. New gacha style game. Maybe evil. That's on the market. Reason number 2, the game is not relying on an already well-known or established IP like Final Fantasy, Romancing Saga, Naruto, or Bleach. Some gachas based on said IP rack massive amounts of players because the IPs are known and loved prior to the games even existing. That is true. That is true. However, again, you do have games like Genshin Impact, Tower of Fantasy, which are completely different styles of games. I guess it's not fair to compare those titles to what Last Cloudia is. Last Cloudia is a battle instance pixel RPG. It's not an open world RPG, so you can't compare the appeal of gameplay. But this isn't really that. This point isn't really related to like what they could improve upon. Okay. Reason number 3: lack of content. This actually does fall under what Dojo was saying. Lack of content, versatility, same old stuff. This is still pretty accurate. This is still pretty accurate. Well, what's funny about LC feeling similar to Grand Summoners is that Adel was a huge part of Grand Summoners' development. Adel was part of the dev team when Grand Summoner started, so that makes sense. But yeah, I guess this is still pretty accurate compared to what I just said about like events use the same recycled type of quest structure that they have since I started playing. the things that they've added, like new Tower of Trials floors, Maze of Tartarus, those updates have been so few and far between, and they are so end game specific that they don't really appeal to the masses, right?
Or rather, lack of versatility.
Correct, Cal.
in content.
Correct. They are a small
new story
development team.
expansions once every 2 or 3 months. Other than that, most events are really the same thing. Farm X stage Y times. Rewards are generally uninteresting. The gun from the ongoing event is an exception. I don't know what that means. There's few end game content, and it's not versatile enough. So, while I've been enjoying the story and the grind to level up and upgrade the characters, this guy's saying that once you get to the end game, there's kind of a lack of content, which I also saw other comments. I'll probably scroll down so we can see. They're not pumping out content like some of these other gacha games are. And with that being said, makes sense why there's not a lot of hype, right? You kind of do it and then you're done, and then if you're waiting a month or 2 months, you're going to move on to another game.
Which I still think is very accurate. Many, even new players to this day, like when they do their collabs or they do their anniversaries, they drop the new character, they drop the new event. People do it for 2 days, and then they're bored. They're like, well, what is there to do? And it's like, okay, well, have you done story as a new player? Okay, no. You go and do that, and you're interested because you get crystals from it, or if you do like the lore of the story. What's up, Flair? If you do like the story, then that is something to occupy you as a new player. But as soon as you're done with story, this is still very, very accurate.
Also makes sense why there's not a lot of content creators making anything on it, because there's nothing for them to make it on. Once they've covered kind of the basics, what do they report on? All right, reason number 4.
I think there actually would be more. Like, I could be that guy. I could be that content creator to make videos on how to do well in the current time trial. You know, like the even like pronouncement of the end. They recycle that. That's kind of like an end game event that they just constantly recycle. But that still seems, even Maze of Tartarus, I think they have done better in terms of like introducing stuff, but the problem is a lot of the end game things that they release are tied to rankings. Like the initial Maze beta, that was tied to rankings. So no one wants to, especially end game players who can give you the strategies, don't want to give you any strategies because they're trying to get one of the top spots. That's the same thing with time trials. Currently, you could make content on every single Maze of Tartarus floor, how to beat it, but then that would be a total of 30 videos. And then once that's done, there's not really something every update to make about endgame completion. Oh, don't even get me started on the cheating, Antonio. They pump out a new, okay, you say new unit and event. I say new unit. The event is recycled over and over again. They either do the slay rewards, they do their island, they don't have a big variety, and they don't switch it up a lot, which is fair. But it's the new unit that comes out every 2 weeks. That's where all their focus goes, because that's where they make the money. And I think that's pretty similar with any other gacha game. So again, I think I already said this earlier, but you can't get mad at them for choosing a business model that works. But I think because of how comfortable they are with that structure, it just becomes the same thing over and over and over again, which just doesn't sustain long-term players that aren't able to get the new unit, test it out, and have fun with theory crafting until the next unit comes around.
He gives lack of banners. This kind of ties into the last reasoning.
but we get 1 or 2 characters tops per month. We haven't had a new R or SR arcs in forever. It's all about the SSR and UR arcs now. I feel like that kind of happens regardless, but in this game, the lower tier arcs still can be very
I don't
useful.
think I don't know if I necessarily agree with this so much. I don't necessarily agree with this so much as a reason why people don't play the game. I think if anything, the fact that they do release SSRs and URs more often get new players more hyped to summon because it's that flashy UR. I think that that's where they learned that they make money, is when they release characters along with hype arcs. And that's why we're seeing new URs back to back. The game is definitely more popular than it was back even when I made this video. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
And they require less resources to upgrade. Collabs are nice, but they aren't enough to pull a game on their own. The only collab that I know of, that I'm familiar with, is the that one time I got turned into a slime, I think is the title of it. They had a collab with this game too. I don't know when that was, but I know it was a little while ago. Again, if you're not releasing characters at a fast pace, you're gonna lose the attention of.
Yeah, I think they've gotten their flow of what they release down to where the game maintains traction, right? They do enough collabs now to where it keeps people on the rope. Like, what's the next collab gonna be? And obviously they've done enough story now where they have story characters that interest the current player base enough to keep them around as well. So I think that those are reasons that they've done better compared to what it might have used to have been based on what this video was.
People like me who are addicted to these games with a short attention span, basically. Last but not least,
certain games do, Cal, like release lower tier characters, especially as free to grind options. I think a lot of games do that, and I wish LC would adopt that more, where like even if you can't get the gacha character that's way more OP, at least you can get a new character. Since character building, I think, is one of the core strengths of Last Cloudia, I think if they did free to grind characters much more consistently that maybe aren't on the level of the gacha, of course, but are still something to talk about and is something that everyone can get and potentially use to beat certain stages, I think that would go so far. That would go so far for them. But as we have seen, their rate of releasing free to grind characters is abysmal. It's almost non-existent. I mean, Zlorg, Carol, which is a monster unit, and Barcelo are the only 3 that they've released in 2 years that I've been around the game. I think if they did a free character with every gacha character, I think they could find some results.
Suzaku says, taking all of the above into the consideration, it's difficult for content creators to actually produce consistent material around this game. We talked about this. Not because it's bad, but they need to churn.
They did say a bunch of arena revamps are coming, Umi. So while that's going to be a very slow, dragged out process over the next 3 months, it's something to look forward to. Now, is their execution going to be good? That's where I'm skeptical. But we'll obviously have to wait and see.
1 or 2 or 3 videos about the same gacha each week. I would argue every day. To pretty much survive in a gacha content
That's wild,
creator
Architox.
market, you're posting you're posting at least 2 videos a day. Going back to it, it says this game is like a turtle. The ReZero collab, I guess that was another collab, lasted a whole month. That was it. No additional events. Nothing was going on except the collab because it was spread over the whole month. Pacing was extremely slow. A lot of the content was time gated. We see this in other gacha games like Dragon Ball Z Legends, for example, I know of, where some of the content's released, about 35% of it in the first 2 weeks, then 50% the third week, another 50% the last week. Needless to say, it left a bad taste in the player's mouth because the only other...
Yeah, I don't know if this is a reason why
the game doesn't reach a mainstream audience because other bigger games do the same thing. I don't think it's a reason why people don't play the game. I think that's become a very common thing in these games. The time-gated event locking. I mean, we see it every time. They do half the mission rewards in the beginning, then they do a second half of the mission rewards for the interim week before the next big update that comes around. I think that's honestly, for what the game offers, it's just a better structure because it gives you at least one reason to log in and see what like the new stuff they're dropping for the part 2 of the event is. Other thing you could do in the game was farming materials, and once you make a best tips on how to farm this video, you can't really do much more. His last comment actually intrigued me a lot because before I got a response on this Reddit post, I was on the Discord asking people what they thought of the game, and I got a lot of like, they're greedy, too much paid to play kind of features, like for example the step up banners, which are very common in gacha games. You can't summon on the step up banners in this game unless you've paid for your crystals. Still hate that, by the way. Still one of my biggest gripes with the game. I think that is a huge... Oh, Lady Buddha. I think that's a huge turnoff. I think the simple fact that they don't call paid, like if they, how like Genshin has your primo gems, and then they have the other currency that is the paid currency, but it's called something else. It has a different icon. I think if LC were to, because apparently you have to have a paid only currency in these games by law, from what I heard before. If they were to simply change the icon and change the name to anything other than paid gems, I think it would alleviate a lot of players that probably see that and then just immediately uninstall the game. I don't know how you guys think of that. Calvin says, Barleen has mentioned that they're keeping a close watch on the reception of the current pass. He made it sound like they have plans to release alternate passes in the future. Yeah, I saw that as well. Barleen did say they wanted to make passes that were more focused on endgame players, what they need, because the new LC, the LC pass that they currently have is great value, and it does help all levels of players, I think. But it's definitely more new player geared. So we'll see what they come up with. Emeralds, right, red gems. You have your free crystals, or you have your crystals, and then you have red gems or diamonds. Call them diamonds, right? Your crystals and diamonds. I think that would it's just like a psychological difference that would keep players from feeling like, even though there's no difference in the structure, I remember seeing paid gems only and getting this sick feeling in my stomach. Whereas other games I have seen, like, oh, they have a paid only currency, but it's a different icon, it's a different name altogether. It doesn't feel as gross, and it's just the psychological aspect of it. So that's a turnoff to a lot of people, which I completely understand. I think there's an easy fix for that, but I'll get to that maybe in another video. However, I think that's the easy fix I was talking about, to be fair. Aku says, some people may attribute the lack of players to the devs' greedy gacha models. But that's not true. I've seen far more predatory gachas become massive successes. Absolutely, that's also true. It all boils down to marketing and player retention, which sadly, Adis has no idea how to do. Adis is... which I think is what we just stated in the beginning. This was not the right video to watch. I've been throwing myself off because Dojo brought up the comment about them not addressing certain things that the community has wanted, which they have done. This was not the right video to try and make arguments to that against. I think it was another video I was thinking of entirely. But this is still really interesting stuff. Maybe I'll just do rant videos. Maybe that's what we'll transition into. Rather than helpful Ask Cloudia content, just rant videos while I'm in this freaking rant headspace. Oh, people love negativity, right? But, and just like Buddha reaction videos, these actually seem fun. Just to see how far we've actually come with the game. The LC rant guy, I know we go from optimistic Buddha, young Buddha down here to just salty Buddha. Singing Buddha vids, Oridon asks. Yeah, karaoke with Kimiko Wen. Alternate Buddha giving negative opinions. Yeah, alter Buddha. Or what do we call him? Nega Buddha. Oh, good times. But it just comes down. I think truly. I think a free-to-play game can reap a lot of success off of designing their consistent updates in a way that content creators can make interesting videos about. I think if a lot of companies shifted their focus into that, I think player retention could go through the moon. Because a lot of the reason I think you guys play, and a lot of the reasons I have continued to play games in the past, that maybe still have a lot of these stale factors or these variables to them that are similar to LC, continue to play the game and feel like we need to play the game because a content creator we're watching is hyping something up. And it's like, oh, even if it's nothing really new, you have this person who sounds really knowledgeable telling you how awesome it is. Oh, I need to be a part of that. I think if a lot of games switched to focusing on that aspect of marketing their game, rather than traditional cringe-ass advertisements that you see them put together, if they just simply thought about, okay, in this update, what detail can we include? What kind of content can we provide that has the potential to go viral because content creators can just take that and make it sound dope? I think a lot of games could find a lot of success in that. How exactly that would be done, that's probably more for the experts. But I feel like that's not a terrible idea. In Last Cloudia's case, I think a free-to-grind character I think if they made an effort to do a free character along with a new gacha character every 2 weeks, they would. And then I still stand by because clearly they're not interested in releasing permanent units anymore. I think an incredible structure to maintain players is if with every new gacha DOH character or collab, maybe collab is different, right? Collab is different. With every DOH, they release a permanent unit that is free to grind for the duration of their event, and then after that is added to the permanent pool. I think that would make this game reach a new level of attracting players. You say one character a month. I say one character every 2 weeks. I think it's very doable. But I think that structure would do a lot for them. That would be extra work for them because now they have to design, create kits for it. It would be a lot more work. So it's all dependent on how much they can actually sustain. But theoretically, I feel like that would put this game on another level of player retention and attraction. Because even the current permanent unit kits that we're getting, they don't need to be Murrin level. Murrin, I feel like, he was supposed to be a DOH that they just made a mistake about. But even like Mia level units, like Shift Medine level units. Even if those were free units, they still help you clear a lot of difficult events that we currently have. And so the ability to get those units, coupled with the OP gacha units that we're getting, I think would just go such a long way. I think it would go such a long way. Because then you're bringing in more free-to-play base that you have the potential to convert to pay-to-play. But requires more work, and of course that conversion and that theory is not guaranteed. But if I was in a driver's seat, I think that's the recommendation I would give to make this game a lot bigger. Shift Gravane, right? Shift Merity, incredible unit still. Oh, maybe not incredible, but still a very fun, useful unit, no doubt. Anyway, this is the development company, which is an utter shame, as this is one of the best mobile games currently, but not as many people know of its existence. Facts, right? All of their social medias do not have big numbers. I think their YouTube channel has let me check. Let's see. They don't even have a Last Cloudia channel. It's Adel Incorporated. They renamed it.
They only have 2,000 followers.
2,000 followers. This was 2 years ago. Does it give us the exact date that this was published? Just says December 9th, 2020. December 9th, 2020. Yeah, we're not getting Saintly Foul, Oradon. Shit. Permanent units are done. I don't know why you guys still have hope that they're a thing. They're done. But wow. This was my first video ever. Crazy. Deathcraw thought this was my twin. No, this is just young Buddha. 2 years ago. 2,000 subscribers. They're averaging a couple thousand views per video. So, from what I've seen, they do post on YouTube. They have a Twitter account. They post there. Look at this. Their icons are Google Play and Apple icon, Twitter, and Facebook. Those are not the social medias to market to. If you're trying to reach, I'd say, the mainstream player base that... Yeah, we know that Adel is run by a bunch of grandpas. If you go to their website and look at like their executive team, that's why Mamone, that's the change in director that they had relatively recently, was a great change, and I think that's why we've seen a lot of strides in the game overall, is because of their shift. Mamone, much younger, I think much more in tune with the more mainstream gamer audience and what they're looking for, but the majority of Adel is still just a bunch of old heads that play gacha games. If we go back to Reddit, I know they've gone up 5,000 subs, and your boy Buddha has gone up 8,000, because the Buddha gang rolls deep like that. Like I said, there were 22 comments. That was just the first one. I thought it was really good, so I wanted to make a video on it. And what else we got? Hold on. Can't be all floating awkward. That's a no-no. Let's go smaller. There we go. This guy says, I like that Last Cloudia isn't bigger than it is. More gachas would be shitty, and it'd become way too similar to, I think that's Grand Summoners, where if you don't whale for every new OP unit, you get kicked from multis. Also, mobile games with big ad budgets always effing suck. They've kind of leaned into that direction heavy with their units. The units are now becoming OP as hell. So if you don't have them, like, that's the thing. Like, that's what's got me so discouraged in Arena currently, is having Shift Lagravos in endgame Arena right now is such a different experience than not having him. it has become exactly what this comment just said. And of course, that's arena. It's just one aspect of the entire game. It's not the entirety of the game, but it always feels bad when that happens, in my opinion. It's like in Seven Deadly Sins when they released Purgatory Bond for the first time. If you didn't have him, you were playing a much different PvP than the entirety of the player base. Guy says, from what I've heard, this is a very story-driven, focused game, while the events are just secondary extra, and that's about it. Arena, which is their PvP model, is just there for bragging rights with little reward boost. Yeah, I've seen a lot of backlash on their PvP arena style
The irony.
feature in the game. This guy's response was short, but I do remember reading it. He said, this game has a lot of untapped potential, I agree, but it suffers from very limited new content releases. They're not pumping content out fast enough. At this point in time, we have a lot of main story and unit story-based content that can be showcased, which is what I thought initially when I started playing it. I was like, whoa, like, it's a year and a half in since release. There's a bunch of characters with a
Buddha slow processor right there.
bunch of unique skill sets. The whole arc system is very unique. There's also a lot of other good points here. A lot of flaws that
Look at how
people point at.
unprofessional I am with my freaking downloads. You could see TikTok logo PNG, icon finder Twitter PNG, Twitch logo PNG. Come on, Buddha. Step up your game, buddy.
This guy had a Thiel. I don't know if I said that right. He's saying a bunch of bad moves from the devs. A lot of, because there's a Japanese and a global. There's a Japanese and a global version of the game. So I guess on JP, they had these.
Yeah, they had all the fiascos back then with their decisions that absolutely tanked the game, and then they had to pull themselves up out of the grave.
It just seems that maybe the two major flaws, if I had to find a common denominator in all these responses, are lack of marketing and lack of content, or I should say the slowness of the content and when it's released. In my eyes, there's always going to be...
Anyway, thanks, Buddha, for the history lesson, but I think that it's still very much relevant. A lot of the things that we saw in this video, funny enough. There are, I promise there are a ton of things that they have done, and maybe we'll react to a future Buddha, old Buddha video to cover that topic, but yeah, that was fun. That was a fun little history lesson. Good times. Dethrone and Tweaks, yeah, it basically, yeah. That's why it pisses me off when Tweaks says, oh, did you see how this was like glowing? It pisses me off when Tweaks is like, oh, this arena grind is so casual right now. People in the top 50 are start crying. Da, 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 da. Every time I see him saying that in chat, I want to like just kick a soccer ball into his face. But I won't do that because obviously I need him for content. But the team he has is ridiculously broken, obviously. The teams that have Shift Lagarbos and all of the end game stuff that Tweaks, Dethrone, Jawline, a lot of the old players have, they're playing a different arena than the entirety of the other player base, including myself. So I know I'm just sounding like a crybaby, but it is what it is. So stressful. Yeah, that's why I said, like, I gave up, guys. I gave up. I tried to make it easier on myself because I couldn't handle the manual grind that I was doing. So I thought, okay, even though I don't have the best units, I'm not going to let that be an excuse, right? I think I left off, I was at 11,500 trophies when y'all saw me last. I said, I'm not going to let I don't have this character, I don't have this arc be the excuse as to why I don't try to make an auto team in arena. So I try to make an auto team, I get pulled off in IRL, and then let's see if has it gone down further. No, it hasn't. I try to make an auto team in arena, and I wake up to this. From 11,500 to 10,000
796. I had gone from rank 45 to 60. Phone booth does not work in arena. And that was after like 2 to 3 hours of me trying to do certain things and testing certain things. So it's just a no-go. It's just a no-go for me anymore. I'm going to do my 2 arena wins a day, get my mother souls, and that's it. I'm not pushing. We still have 10 days. We have 10 days. And the trophy grind picks up during those last 2 days. I'm not here for it. I'm not here for it. So top 50, y'all can keep it. I'm just going to continue to lose arena trophies and not worry about it. So it's just not going to be a thing for me. It's not going to be a thing for me. What's it called? The time trial. Oh, this is not the right thing. Time trial I'm not interested in anymore. Just everything that's sweaty about this game, on top of me being burnt out, it's just not going to be, it's not going to happen. I did it once. I got 6 minutes. And I started to make a team that I thought would do better and was like, what am I doing right now? And then I just like closed the app and was so uninterested in actually trying that just led me to the conclusion of everything I've said in this video. But it's gonna be it. Yep, PB&J. I know. But now to rearrange my team again would take me another hour or 2 of dedicated focus, which I'm just not willing to give this game anymore. So rather you take that hour or 2 and go play Final Fantasy, or even just use it to brainstorm new ideas to get away from Last Cloudia altogether. And that's what we're going to do. So on that sobering note, Calphanite sees where I'm going with it. Don't forget, we've got a sponsor. Star Trek Command Fleet, a free-to-play MMO mobile game based around the classic series of Star Trek. If you want to experience a bit of nostalgia with me, use that barcode above or click the link in the description. Download the game. I'm going to be doing a playthrough live stream tomorrow. If we can all get together, join the Buddha Gang fleet, create a little army of spaceships just to leave our mark in the Star Trek MMO world. Saying the Buddha Gang was here, supports me directly, free to charge, free to play. And I think would just be a fun way to get away from LC, get away from the noise, and have a little gamer session with the Buddha Gang. Would love to see you there tomorrow. We're going to be streaming at noon Eastern time. And yeah, I'll probably be promoting that for a little bit here. So be on the lookout for that. Make sure to have your notifications on Twitch so you know when that goes live. Even if you're not able to make it for the live stream, just playing through the game a bit, testing it out, seeing if you enjoy it does help support me directly. So I really appreciate everyone who takes the time to do that. And that's all I got for you this time. PB&J, looking forward to it. Thank you guys for being here live, watching us gamble, listening to me rant, and hope that many of you guys continue to follow me on this journey of trying to be a content creator on the interwebs. But with all that being said, y'all know what we say: work hard, play hard. See you in the next video.